said I would be doing something a little more savory mealtime this week. So we're going to do a mug of instant mac and cheese. And I was told this one's for you, Linda. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get a big mug because you're going to be boiling some water in it. Then you're going to take, well, I'm going with elbow pasta because, you know, that's your classic mac and cheese. You're going to start with 1/3 of a cup of your pasta right into your oversized mug. Clip that back up because we got a nice big bag. Then we're going to get a 1/2 cup, which one's my 1/2 cup, and trot over to the sink and get a 1/2 cup of water and put it right back in there with that. And now you're putting a 1/2 cup of water in with your pasta. And you're going to microwave it, of course, on high for 2 minutes. Now if you try using a smaller mug, you might see some boiling over water. You would just have to clean it up then. That's why I'm using a big mug. And if you're just going to do plain mac and cheese, this is where you can stand and twiddle your thumbs or do something else. But if you're like me and you want to try something a little more adult, this is where you're going to be using the time that you're cooking your pasta to maybe be chopping up some onions and a few peppers, and I'm even going to chop up a mushroom and some bacon into tiny little bits. And I'm going to turn it around to a skillet, which I already have preheated, obviously, because it's yelling at me. And I'm going to drop them in the skillet. I'm even going to cut up a little piece of chicken, because I like to put a lot of stuff in my mac and cheese and make it really good. Cut them into tiny pieces so they cook a little quicker. And drop those on in there. Like I said, if you don't want to jazz it up a little bit, you don't have to. I just wanted to make it more of a meal. Chopping up my mushroom. Throw all that in there. Have your handy spatula. Like I said, plain old mac and cheese is plenty good enough. We all know that. But if you want to be a little more impressive and make it look like you know what you're doing, add a few things in. You don't have to add exactly what I did, or even part of what I did. Okay, now, you're going to want a spoon or a fork here. I'm going to get a fork. You're going to take it out and you're going to test it. And my water did overflow a little bit, but that's going to happen when you're boiling your pasta. You're going to stir it, and as it is not going to be ready. So you're going to throw it in for 2 more minutes, and put back the little piece of pasta that's stuck on your fork. And keep paying attention to what you're cooking in your skillet. If you're cooking anything in your skillet. Okay. And I'll start putting some of my stuff away. And while you're waiting, you can have your milk out, because you're going to be needing 1/4 cup of milk, and you're going to be needing a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. Now, a lot of people use shredded cheddar cheese. Me, because I like it, I'm going to use taco cheese. Plus, it's what I had in the fridge, and I didn't feel like shredding it myself. So I'm going to be using 1/2 cup of shredded taco cheese. Give it a little bit more of a kick. if you're putting stuff in the skillet, it should be sizzling along nicely right about now. Should be getting it done. Okay, we're going to take our fork and we're going to test the macaroni again. Which, like I said, you'll see the water did boil out a little bit, but okay. Well, mine still isn't done, so I'm going to throw it in for another 2 minutes, which will make about 6 minutes total. Each microwave is different, but you're probably going to end up having to do it about 6 minutes. Because the water, when it's done, the water will pretty much be absorbed completely and the pasta will be to your taste. It'll be nice and soft. If at the end of this 2 minutes it still isn't done to your taste and the water's gone, put about another teaspoon of water in and do it for another minute, and that will probably do it. I'm going to turn my skillet off and just let my additions sit there. Keep them nice and warm for when I'm ready to use them. And like I said, even me using a big mug, you probably can't see it in there, but the water is boiling up. Just have a towel ready to go. It's not a big deal, it's just water boiling over. Nice and big and fluffy. I have a message on Facebook. Pardon me, and I will check that. My friend and I are having a very spirited conversation on who the next doctor should be. Hi, Nicole. Okay, back to the mac and cheese. Ooh, your mug will probably be hot. And your mac and cheese might be sticking a little bit in the bottom, but just swoosh it around. Woo! It's going to be steamy, so watch yourself. Get a piece on your fork to try. Blow on it so you're not burning your tongue. No, I'm happy. Like I said, this could be a point where you add another teaspoonful of water and do it another minute. But I'm happy with what I have. So what I'm going to do now stir in my milk, my 1/4 cup of milk. This is if I'm my 1/4 cup. Stir that in. Then I'm going to get my 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. Or a heaping 1/2 cup, because let's face it, who doesn't love cheese? Stir that all together and try not to make too big a mess. You're going to stick it, and you are going to put it back in the microwave for another minute. Get the milk and cheese off, nice and melted in. you can. And, like I said, if you've made some additions for your more grown-up mac and cheese, this is the point where you're probably going to be wanting to add that in. Get it out. Bring it over, stir it up, and you've got an oozy-goozy. You might want to let it sit for a little bit to stall it up, because it might be a touch runny, but obviously we have a yummy, goopy, completely hot, instant mug of mac and cheese. Like I said, this is the point where I'm going to add in my extra yummy bits. Stir it all up. Get all the good bits off of the spatula. Or just put cheese on your spatula. Stir it all up, and oh yeah, that is some good looking. Try not to spill it. It's some good looking mac and cheese. I want to try it for you here, but it's really hot. Sorry. Got a really good mac and cheese. I have no idea what I'm doing next week, so if you have any ideas, give me your opinions. And I'm going to go stuff my face with some mac and cheese, and I'll see you next week.